What is it about? What is the theme about? It's about celebrating our people who have the will to stand up for ourselves as a nation, for independence, okay, and also who care for one another. You know, Singapore is independent. It's good to be independent. Many countries went independent because before that they didn't really have full freedom, you know, to do or to benefit from whatever is produced in a country or what they can do. So independence is a blessing, and God wants us to be independent. At the same time, we must remember that we can't live on our own too. Singapore depends on many countries because we are a small nation, you know. We don't have resources. Imagine if nobody give us food, what are we going to eat? Computers, handphones? You see, no food. So we also depend on people. As much as we have our independence, we cannot live by ourselves also. We need others, we need friends. Relationship is important. So together we build Singapore, a home, okay, where we feel we belong. What does it mean by the word home? What is it like to feel at home? What are the things that you experience when you think of home? What is a home like? Yes?
If you say,
very good, where you feel safe. Only one person answer. What about the others? What is it like to be at home, to feel at home? You say you feel safe. That is true. That is very true. Yes. Okay. To feel happy. Okay, you are happy to be at home. Yes.
where you feel like
Okay. You feel that there's love. You're cared for. You know, I visited a few homes. You know, and some homes are worse than hotel. People don't talk to one another. Have you come across homes like that? Either parents don't talk to one another, or the children don't talk to their parents. They talk only to the computer. I hope it doesn't happen to you. And Singapore was not like that. People talk to one another, not just at home. Of course, they quarrel a bit, but at least they communicate. But you know, there are homes where people don't talk to one another. Yesterday, one of my former students came to visit me, and he said, "Oh, I don't get to see my sister. She's working, but in and out she goes, you know, in and out of the house. Didn't talk to anybody, not to the parents. It's very sad. That is not a home. So a home is a place where you feel safe, where you feel your love, where when you're out of the place, out of the home, you think of coming back, you know, after you enjoy yourself outside. You think of coming home where you can take a good rest. Where there's communication. Alright? So, it's important. So it's not only your home must be a home, but today the national theme is we must make Singapore a home for all of us. A home means there's communication. How many of you have experienced going to a lift and everybody kept quiet inside? You see, I experienced that too. And very often, thank you, very often we expect other people to talk first, but we never make the effort. I spent 4 years in Australia last time. And in Australia, one good thing which I noticed is that people wish one another good morning, a good day, and also good day, pronounce good day, so. But still, they wish one another. You see, but in Singapore, we just keep to ourselves. How can we feel at home if we don't communicate in a positive way, especially? So, Is Singapore a home for you? Yes or no? Yes, it is. But we can make it truly a home in the most ideal way. So it is a place where we feel safe, accepted, and cared for. And who helps Singapore to be a safe and comfortable home for us? Who? Who has helped Singapore to become a safe and comfortable home? Who? Huh? Who? God. Okay, God alone. But God requires it. God cannot force people to talk, God cannot force us to care for one another. We need to respond. God can only show us the way. Okay? What it's like to love, what it's like to forgive, what it's like to care for one another. But we have to play our part. And the Singapore National Day, we are always reminded that the pioneers of Singapore have helped Singapore to have built Singapore to be a safe place and also where we feel at home. Who are the pioneers? Who are the pioneers of Singapore?
Mr. Lee Kuan.
But he played his part, but not Lee Kuan Yew alone, Stanford Raffles, maybe to some extent, but yeah. But it's not just the leaders. Of course the leaders play their part. But all your grandparents, your great-grandparents, and your parents also, it's not just one or two persons, not just the leaders. The leaders play their part, of course it's an important part they play. But a lot of Singaporeans whose name we will never know. There are many heroes in Singapore who helped to build Singapore, and today we want to thank God for them. The people that we do not know, who played their part, who made a lot of sacrifices for us. If not for them, we won't have a safe place, we won't have a place here which we call home. Okay? So, there are two words, apart from home and people. There are two words, you see, out of 4 words in that theme, the 2 words which are similar is the word what? Our. Okay? So, today you're invited to think not only of yourself, but to think in terms of the common good. Our. What does it mean when we think of the word our? It's not to think about my own benefit, my own interest, for my own comfort, but to think about others, to think about we as a family, we as a community. In today's gospel, Jesus said, if anyone wants to be a follower of mine, what must he do? If you want to be a follower of mine, Jesus said, what must you do? Can you remember the gospel reading? You must Okay, Jesus said, if anyone wants to be a follower of mine, let him renounce himself and take up his cross and follow me. Okay? First of all, renounce himself. What does it mean? Renounce himself means you forget about yourself. Don't always think about me, mine, myself, and I. Think about others. Forget about yourself. Which means we need to make sacrifices. We cannot only think about my own comfort. Mommy, do this for me. Mommy, drive me here, drive me there. And then all about me and forget about mom. The other thing is take up the cross. What does it mean to take up the cross? That means Don't always look for comfort and your own convenience. Sometimes we suffer a little in a good way, like your mother, your father also suffer. Your father don't need to work so hard, If no children, your father can work only half day. But your parents work hard, right? To earn a living, to support you, to bring you up, to think about your education. So, you see, sacrifices. Take up the cross, have a bit of discomfort, inconveniences, but it's for the love of others, whether it's for the children or for others. And then Jesus said, follow me. What does it mean to follow Jesus? Take up the cross and follow me. What does it mean to follow Jesus? What does it mean? To follow Jesus means to live as a daughter of God. Jesus said, I'm the Son of God. If you follow me, that means you live as daughters of God. Right? How many of you have been living as daughters of God? Nobody. As daughters of God, nobody. How many of you live as God? Thank you, thank you. To live as daughters of God means what? It means you love. Just now you said loving, where you feel love, where you care for one another, where you're kind towards one another, where you love, and especially you care for those who are less fortunate, less gifted, who are in difficulty. Okay? Sunday, one father and a boy came to my office. They are not Catholics. I'm in St. Anne's Church, but they are not Catholics. They were staying in Pongo somewhere, and they came to see me because the boy was in trouble. In school, nobody talks to him. He had no friends. He was all by himself, and he was feeling very, very, very down, extremely down. And the father didn't know what to do with him. And he wouldn't talk to anyone. Even when I talk to him, he won't talk, not one word, because he hasn't been talking for a long time. So it's only after a while that I discovered his difficulty. He had no friends. So sad. So remember, to follow